Mhm.
They're talking sports and what's going on again. It's Jay and me breaking it down for the fans. Nothing gets past them. Tap in and catch them. J-N-M-E C2CSN.
Keep an eye on the YouTube.
We finally have arrived. We are back, Jay and Emmy. Let's go. Episode 11 on a beautiful. What's today? Wednesday.
Yeah, all day today.
Wednesday, evening or afternoon, depending where you are, on opening day of baseball. A lot to talk about today. I'm your host, Emmy, alongside with Jay. How you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great, man. It's a good day, opening day. Welcome back, baseball. Welcome back, all our baseball fans and fanatics. Let's go Mets.
Well, the Mets don't play today, but they do play.
I know that, but let's go
tomorrow. Like the New York Yankees. As you can see, we're representing opening day, and yeah, man, the Yankees. They're starting off pretty good right now. It is the top of the first. It is the top of the first right now, and it is still a 0-0 score. So we will expect a lot of our callers coming in today. Yankee fans, obviously, and more than happy to take your calls. As you know, we always start this show off talking about the New York Knicks. So
let's do it.
All right. Let's talk about the New York Knicks right now, and we're going to be having some callers coming our way as well. Big Knicks fans coming in. But I'll tell you this, the New York Knicks 7-game winning streak, right?
It's beautiful. Beautiful to see.
7-game winning streak. Always good to see it, and especially in end of March, going into April, right before the season starts. This is where you want to get, the wheels turning. This is where you want to get everything in sync, and then obviously hope for a prosperous playoff run. So the fact of the matter is that the New York Knicks are on this great 7-game winning streak, but and this is where I'll notice with a lot of the Knicks fans. The Knicks fans have great unity. I'm gonna tell you this. The Knicks fans have probably one of the best unity I've seen as far as the fan base goes in all fans. Okay. Now you can go to the games, you can go to New York, you can go to Orlando, you can go to Texas, you can go to Philly, you can go anywhere you want. And the Knicks fans, man, they're like a family. They're like a family. So I wanted to point that out first. Okay. And it's great to see. Although, with that being said, what do you think? You feel the same way, right?
Me being out here in LA, I must say that during the playoffs, we get together at certain bars and we watch the game, and it is great. There's a group out here called the West Coast Knicks. If I can find who's the organizer of that group, they're a really good group. They get everybody together for playoff games, and we watch them, and we go hard, and we carry on, and it feels like you're in the city during the playoffs over here, because it's a beautiful time.
I went to a Knicks Philly game one time, and man, because obviously I was wearing a Knicks jersey, bro, they were guys that were just pushing and shoving people out of the way just to give me some love, because they were Knicks fans as well. So it was like, yo, Knicks, yo, Knicks, yo, Knicks. And at some point, I remember that was the whole bing bong type of thing.
Yeah, around the bing bong era.
Around the bing bong era, bro. I remember we were just screaming it out, bing bong. And yo, if there was a Knicks fan nearby, he would basically respond to your call, like bing bong. So
it was
one of the greatest fan base. Greatest fan base. We are proud to be New York Knicks fans.
Yeah, all day, baby, all day.
That being said, I feel like the Knicks fan is torn between two type of ways, and that is either very optimistic all the time, 24/7, no matter what, and then there's also the Knicks fan who's down in the dumps and he's pessimistic and he's this and that, whatever, right?
Right.
So majority of them are optimistic.
The majority.
Majority of them, but for the most part, we gotta understand that as a Knicks fan base, whether in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever it is, you haven't seen any championships, no matter what it is. And so we have to now be very realistic to even the slightest like glimpse of happiness. We have to take it at a grain of salt. We have to figure out if this is something that's legitimate. And that's what I'm doing with this winning streak. And we can pull up the winning streaks and let's look at some of the teams we've been playing and some of the stuff. Maybe we'll get some comments on it as well. But I'll tell you what, man, the Knicks, they have beaten a lot of teams right now, and they're not blowing them out. I mean, but they're still winning, and a win's a win, and 7-game winning streak is beautiful. But I just hope this is not a mirage. I hope it's not an illusion.
Well said. Listen, we are on a winning streak right now, and that's all well and good. That's beautiful, and I'm happy that we're winning these games. I'm a realist though. I'm a huge fan, as you already know, but I'm a realist. We haven't played anybody on this winning streak. We haven't played anybody really worthwhile to say that we've beaten some good teams here. On this winning streak, we beat the Jazz, the Pacers, the Warriors, the Pacers, the Nets, the Wizards, the Pelicans. Tomorrow is when it starts to get a little bit interesting to see if we can continue this winning streak. We play the Hornets, who are hot. Then Sunday, we play the Thunder, who are hotter. Then Tuesday, we play the Rockets, who are still a hot team. So those 3 games back to back to back is going to, see what we're really made of. Is this winning streak a mirage, or did we just have a luck of the draw and have like a bunch of, horrible teams at the end of the season? So you want to go into the playoffs hot. Nobody wants to go into the playoffs cold. That's trash. So, let's see what we can do. I'm curious to see what happens these next couple of games.
So just to let you guys know, and you guys know as Knicks fans right now, the New York Knicks right now, I believe, are tied at second place right now with the Boston Celtics. Meaning, if the Boston Celtics lose today,
Boston's a half game ahead of us.
They're a half game. Okay, well I'll make it very easy then. They're playing the OKC tonight.
They're gonna lose that.
And if they lose that, then we're tied.
Yeah.
And so do we want the number 2 position? See, now here's the problem. In the number 2 slot, you really don't know who you're playing right now. And I know it sounds like, well, of course, we're going to play like an 8th or 7th seed, which is who cares, or even a 9th or 10th seed if they end up, just winning the play-in. But then it's like, bro, some of those teams,
joke, baby.
They're no joke, and some of those teams.
Well, again, we spoke about this before, but I'll say it again for anybody new that's listening. Those 4 teams right now in the play-in, Philly, Atlanta, Charlotte, and who am I missing here? And Orlando. Who do you fear the most?
Wait, is it Miami in there?
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Atlanta's in the 6th seed, and Miami's there now. I'm sorry. Atlanta jumped to the 6th. Barely though. They might be out the 6th by tomorrow night. Who knows? So right now it's Philly, Orlando, Charlotte, Miami. Those are the 4 teams in the play-in as of now. Who do you fear the most out of those 4 teams?
Listen, bro, for some reason Miami always has our number. I'm always worried about the way Miami plays, especially against this Knicks team that doesn't really, it's not that crazy on defense compared to the last few years. But then again, look, I think a lot of people will be like, yeah, but look at our last few games, man. And it's like, bro, I cannot take it serious. I can't, because I've seen them, listen, we're in what? But I think it was like 9 games left in the season, right?
Yeah, it's not a lot. Like 9.
It's not a lot, right? So we're in 70 games into the season, at least around 70 games into the season. I have seen this team play good competition, especially when it's elite competition, and especially when the stakes are high, as playoffs are. And I've seen them this year not produce, and and it's just one of those things where it's like I'm not gonna let this little winning streak, you know, put me in a position where I'm like, yeah, this is it, and there's a lot of people are in that mode. And listen, I want to be in that mode, but like we already said, we've been burned so many times. We haven't won a championship in a long time. I have to look at it in a realistic view. And right now, I'll tell you this: the New York Knicks. I will. I don't care who they're playing in the first round. I would rather be the third seed and play it, like you said, is Atlanta's in the sixth?
right now, and I can't even tell you they'll stay there. It's gonna
Who's
flop
behind
between
them? Who's
Atlanta,
behind them?
Philly's behind them. Atlanta's 40-32, Philly is 39-33, and then Orlando's 38-34. Actually, Orlando, Charlotte, and Miami are 38-34. So that 6th seed is up for grabs. And then if the 5th seed is Toronto at 40-31. So everybody's gonna play between 5 and 10. Everyone's gonna be all mushed around. I don't know how the season's gonna end yet. You can't tell. So we could do the teams 5 through 10. Toronto, Atlanta, Philly, Orlando, Charlotte, Miami.
Right, if we play Toronto, which is funny because they're 5th seed, they're higher seed, but I'm very confident we'll beat them easy.
I'm not scared of Toronto.
No,
not even a little bit.
No,
they don't scare me. How do you feel about Atlanta? They scare you?
No, hell no. I'm good with Atlanta.
Kuminga scare you? Jonathan Kuminga?
Nah, I'm good. I think we have a better. So like the same thing with Toronto, right? I feel like sometimes it's about star power that can solidify the series and the games, and I think we have way better star power than a team like Toronto or Atlanta. So I think we're pretty good when it comes to that. As far as look, Philly's good. They got great star power. They got good players. Maxi's doing great. So like I don't know. I don't know about Philly. I cannot say that the Knicks are going to, easily, cruise through a series against the Philly in the first round. Right. And Miami, those two teams, Miami and Philly.
Well, Miami's built for the playoffs. As we all know.
Yep.
They're
and Bam Adebayo might score another 87 points.
Get to the line, 60-something times.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go for 87 this time.
Care about that guy? I'll pass on Bam. Amy, can you drop the link inside the comments for people that want to call in and join on the show? You can call in, be a guest. The link is in the comments. Please click on it.
Yep, just get on. It's very easy, guys. The link itself pops you right into the app, the StreamYard guest app for our show. And then once you're in, just put your name, how you want us to address you guys, and you're on the Jay and IMMI show. So very, very easy, very simple. So so back to what we were saying, right? So like the Knicks right now, there's only a few teams that I feel very comfortable that they can cruise by in the first round. Other than that, I don't know because like I said, I'm not gonna let this little winning streak. Some people be like, how do you not know? Look at what we're doing, 7-game winning streak. No, because I've seen us when we're not playing the Pelicans and we're not playing the Brooklyn Nets and we're not playing the Washington Wizards. I've seen us against different types of competition. It's not like that all the time. So we gotta see it. We gotta see it.
Quick little side note. I just want to promote the show for the great debate coming up soon. We got the great debate, LeBron versus Kobe. Sorry, excuse me. Wow, I'm going ahead of myself. LeBron versus Jordan. Who is your GOAT? Who is your GOAT? LeBron versus Jordan. We got a great debate coming up in 2 weeks.
No, you hit it. That's good. I like that. MJ is the GOAT. LeBron is the broke.
Wow.
Okay.
No, wow.
Everything is broke about that man.
You gotta chill, man. This is diabolical talk. You can't speak like that on the King's name.
Oh yeah.
Off with your head. What are you talking about?
LeBron James, the same guy. Did you guys see what I posted? So you guys didn't know that it was Jay doing it. So you know who it was. But you guys see the post I put on the story?
Yeah,
MJ.
They try not to watch it.
MJ.
I didn't approve of it. So
MJ when he deals with hecklers. when Kobe dealt with hecklers, when LeBron deals with hecklers. Please take him out of the game. He's distracting me. I don't want to hear him. My feelings are getting hurt.
That's not what he said. That is not what he said. That is not what happened.
Yeah.
Don't stop causing a ruckus here, man. That is not what happened.
Less soft.
Less soft.
But anyways, this is nothing, guys.
The great debate.
The great debate.
Please tune in April 13th. We're gonna have the great debate. Team LeBron versus Team Jordan. Who is your GOAT? Who is your GOAT? Come on stage. You're gonna have conversations back and forth. We're gonna be able to talk about this. It's gonna be a great show, and we're gonna find out and figure out once and for all who is the GOAT.
Who is the GOAT, guys? Let me just break this down a little bit. There's a little promo. We're always gonna talk about this, but I'll give you guys a little promo on it right now. We're gonna start off the show. Obviously, we're going to have guests. We're going to have a lot of guests, and we're going to have callers, and we're going to have everybody talking and giving their views and opinions. And then at the end of the day, it's going to be a debate. It's going to be, let's hear your side. Let's see what you have to say. And guess what? It's just possible that, and a lot of people have had this, that one side will eventually agree and maybe come to a conclusion that the other person was the GOAT. Maybe it's a Jordan. Maybe it's realizing that LeBron's it. Maybe it's realizing that Jordan is it. But at the end of the day, we're going to bring facts, hard facts. Okay. It's not about emotions. Okay. Because I've talked to a lot of, especially LeBron fans. I've talked to a lot of people. And at the end of the day, somehow, some way it becomes about emotions. Well, I saw LeBron. I got into the league because of LeBron. He was playing on Miami. Oh my God. It's not about that. It's not about that. It's not about what LeBron means to you. It's what LeBron means to the game of basketball. And was he the greatest to ever do it? And that goes back to the Michael Jordan. It's not about, oh my God, Michael Jordan, yeah, man, when I was, these new MJs, man, it's not about that. It's not about it's about what does he mean to the game of basketball, and was he the greatest?
He means a lot.
Huh?
He means a lot.
Who?
LeBron.
Okay.
He means a lot.
Well, he means a lot. Okay.
He means a lot.
Okay.
There is no game of basketball without LeBron, man. The king has spoken. He's still in the league.
Yeah, bro. Okay. That's listen. We will bring. We're going to match up a lot of things. We're going to match up championships. We're going to match up appearances in finals. We're going to match up rookie years. We're going to match up. I would say we would match up different teams, but one guy wasn't really hopping around teams, so I can't really mention one guy. So the other guy was hopping around teams, looking for the best players on the earth to play with. But it's okay. The only time Michael Jordan did that was in Space Jam. So that's it. Shade. I will tell you this, man. We come in hard. So be ready. Come 2 weeks. The great debate. On to the next topic.
Good promo. Quick word from our sponsors. Who's sponsoring us today, Amy?
Today's sponsor is Radio Shack. You've got questions, we've got answers. And if you guys are looking out for, the newest gadgets in town, you don't need to go to Amazon. You don't need to go on any of these new modern world technology stuff. No. Find a local Radio Shack nearby. Go in there and check out all the great stuff they have. They just sponsored our show today. Once again, they say, you've got questions, we've got answers. So go to your local Radio Shack, support their business. Radio Shack.
Yeah, let's do it. I got one nearby.
Yeah, they don't exist anymore, but yeah. Let's go.
But they can still sponsor the show.
Of course. Absolutely.
They made enough money in their time. They can still sponsor the show. Come on. Help us out a little bit, Radio Shack.
Radio Shack, man. Let's go. What is my boy J-Rod saying up in here? 80s, 90s, 2000s.
If you know, you know, you know.
And who is the GOAT?
Who is the GOAT,
Who's J-Rod's GOAT? I don't remember him telling.
I can't tell. J-Rod, who's your GOAT?
J Rod.
Is it Alvarado? Might be Alvarado.
Alvarado.
He's a
Yeah.
good guy. What's scoring? What's the score right now on opening day? How's it going? How's it looking?
I'll tell you this right now, man. The New York Yankees. Let's talk about a little bit about the Yankees right now. It's still 0, top of the second, 0-0. Top of the second, 0-0. New York Yankees versus the San Francisco Giants. And I'll tell you what. All right, the New York Yankees, they had a good run last year. They basically brought the same team back. They said, let's just bring it back, mainly because Garrett Cole was out for the year. And Garrett Cole, as you guys know, is an ace himself. But now he's taking a back seat to Max Fried, and now he's the number 2 starter. And so guess what? You got 2 amazing aces on the Yankees team. Plus, they have a good bullpen. They're relying on a bunch of new guys now for closers. Obviously, they trashed some of their players. The Mets usually pick up the Yankees trash, which is what happened this year. So let's see what happens. And
throwing jabs all day.
and let's see what happens. Because I'll tell you what, the Yankees are always going to be kind of like how you bring up about the Miami Heat. They're built for the playoffs. They're going to try to do their best. The Yankees, obviously, a bit better and more historic franchise. They're built for the playoffs. So whatever you're going to see from them this season, it's really about the playoffs. So as long as they stay healthy and Judge has a good year, which he always does, and some of these other guys can accommodate to him, hopefully Stanton stays strong this year, and he stays healthy. Last year he was injured a lot, and I think the New York Yankees have a big chance right now to do something big. So let's see how they fan out. And we're obviously on our next show. We will be having a lot of our Yankees insider and a lot of guys. Today was going to be a quick show, but our next show we're going to have obviously more guests and more stuff talking about the baseball season as it opens up tonight.
Yeah. Hopefully the Yankees can make it back to the World Series and lose again. That'd be great. Yeah, but it's gonna be a good season for baseball in general. I tell everybody right now, if anybody wasn't like a baseball fan and they watched the World Series last year between the Yankees and the Dodgers, all jokes aside, that
2
was
years ago. That was 2 years ago.
Excuse me. That was hands down one of the best series I've ever seen. So if you didn't like baseball then, you can like it now. So, but it's only game 1, opening day. Baseball's a long sport. Yeah. It's a long season. So,
and just to let you guys know, Jarrell, he's a baseball fan, but not as passionate when it comes to obviously basketball. But his favorite game is MLB The Show. If you guys can figure that out for me, comment below.
Love that game.
MLB
that's honestly the best baseball game ever made in the history of baseball games.
Sheesh.
Yeah, like I said, they need to sponsor us next.
So you like it better than 2K?
MLB?
Yeah.
Yeah, the show's way better. Hell yeah.
Yeah, the 2K could be doing a lot of stupid stuff, bro. Especially, I hate when they keep changing the shot meter and they keep changing a bunch of stuff on 2K, bro.
Are you talking about 2K basketball?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want to break down sports games,
well, I'm saying, bro, it sounds like if I gave you one game to play tonight, 2K or the show, I feel like you would say the show based on what you're saying.
I'd say the show.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you do think it's better than 2K?
Yeah. If you want to talk about sports games, then the top right now is 2K, the show, and Madden. Those 3. You might want to throw FIFA in there as an honorable mention. That's fine. But 2K, the show, and Madden are the top 3 sports games ever. And then, depending on who you are, what you are, you got to see which is the best one, but they're all pretty damn good. 2K has gotten very much so harder to play over the time because, it's not as easy to just pass a ball and shoot like back in the day, but it is what it is. Amy, it looks like we have a guest here. If you want to announce him in.
Yeah, well, just before I do that, I was going to say Yankees are up 3-0 Let's go, Yankees. All right.
Wow.
Yep. We have a guest, and let's bring him on. The infamous Knickerbocker. How you doing today, brother?
How's it
What's
going?
going on, brothers? How you guys doing?
Good,
Thank
man.
you for
How are
having me
How are
on.
you?
Of course, man. Welcome to the Jay and Emmy show. Man, a great Knick fan like yourself. First, right off, I want to ask you, man, what do you think so far about where we are in the season? Was it exactly what you expected? Because technically we basically brought the same team back. We just changed Mike Brown from Tibbs, and what do you see about us? Where do you see where we can improve, and where do you think we stand a chance in the East and hopefully make a finals run?
Well, the Knicks, is this what I expected? Absolutely not. I don't think that anyone would have signed up for this season to be the way it is.
Sure.
Considering that, the Eastern Conference, what at the beginning of the season was a wide open mess.
No. I think he's walking and talking.
Yeah, I think
Then waving him, and now he's in Portland, and he still isn't back. But to be honest with you, this was prime picking for the Knicks. I'm over on Knicks and Ish. I do have a tendency. I opened the show for the season, stating that this was the season that I've waited my whole life for, and most of us all waited our whole life for.
Right.
Because none of us were alive during the '73 championship. We weren't alive. I'm only 45 years old. I suffered through the '80s and the '90s and the 2000s and the 2010s and the 2020s and the two 17-win seasons, the Patrick Ewing years, the Carmelo Anthony years. You name it. I've lived through it, and many tears have been shed. Many of TVs have been broken. Many remotes have been thrown at the wall and stuff like that. And to be honest with you, this was supposed to be our year. I still believe it is.
Okay.
But do I think that that this is exactly how it was going to go? No, absolutely not. I will say this: the Knicks have been playing much better as of recent. Ever since my birthday, I turned 45 in January. On January 20th, actually, and around that time, the Knicks have become the best top-rated offense and defense in the NBA, which is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah,
but yeah, exactly. But a lot of my my compatriots would say that, well, we're not putting belt to ass to a lot of these teams. I mean, and that's true. Yeah. Brooklyn gave us a run a little bit. Washington, New Orleans last night, and other teams, other no-name teams, are really making this kind of more difficult. And we should probably be destroying these teams by 30 every night.
That's the thing. Brooklyn should have never gave us a run. Pelicans should have never gave us a run. And that's what worries me about them going into the playoffs. We got this winning streak right now, but we play all these horrible teams, and each and every game should have been won by minimum 25. The bench should have came in and started the fourth quarter. So it worries me a little bit. Like, we play Charlotte tomorrow. I want to see what happens with that. Charlotte, OKC, and the Houston Rockets. Let's see how we do in those 3 games before I want to jump out my seat and think we're going to do anything in these playoffs.
Well, those 3 games are not going to be easy. Obviously, Charlotte, they're still playing for something. The other teams that you should mention, they have nothing to play for. They've been eliminated for about a couple of weeks now. They're mailing it in. They're playing spoiler, and that's pretty much their whole MO. Charlotte, the other night, they won by 30. I think it was last night. I think they right. And so they're playing for something. They're playing for their play-in lives. So that would make sense. So I don't think that tomorrow night's game is going to be a cakewalk in any bet. So the Knicks cannot go into this game thinking they can only do 60% of the effort and still end up with a W, even with the amount of talent that they have. So you have a valid point. But like I've been telling a lot of my compatriots about this, is that the Knicks have been kind of phoning it in a little bit. They've been playing competitive basketball, and this is kind of like the norm for a lot of the teams going into the playoffs this season. They're going into the playoffs. You got to rest them up. You're playing these no-name teams, and these teams are coming to play spoiler because they have nothing to play for. And if you sit there and you do what you did in the beginning of the season, and you start to dissect every single game and counting this loss versus that loss versus that loss, you're not gonna be happy with the end result, because right now these wins that we have, are we really going to remember them in a week? No. Let's be real. We're not going to remember them in a week. Unless you got a big mouth on a big network, keep on talking about it. I mean, that's what it is. But
yeah, absolutely. These games are really to prepare us for the playoffs. I mean, great takes. And that's what my worry is as well. Is like, look, I'm not going to buy too much into the 7-game winning streak right now. It's more about them figuring things out. Mike Brown figuring out this rotation. I mean, like, look, a few weeks ago, he wasn't even playing Clarkson. And now Clarkson has came in and showed him, look, this is why. And I always said this. And even when he wasn't playing Clarkson, Jay would bring it up into me. And I would say, look, he's a veteran. He's very important to have in the playoffs That's why you get him. And that's why I was really excited for his pickup, because he definitely brings that veteran mindset to the team that's much needed. But now Mike Brown has figured it out to play him. And so
has Mike really figured it out though? He's still giving Bridges 30-something minutes a game, which is stupid.
I don't think Mike Brown still figured it out yet, because unfortunately, to his detriment, he does have his tendencies as well. I mean, people complained about Tom Thibodeau's tendencies last season and over the last 5 years during his tenure. That he'll overwork his starters, not play his bench. What's Mike Brown going to do in about a week or so when Deuce McBride is back?
Right.
And now you got to factor in his minutes and his shot selection, and how to weed him in. And then once the postseason kicks in, how are you going to effectively play Deuce McBride, Jordan Clarkson, Jose Alvarado, and then the rest of your bench?
I mean, taking a back seat. Somebody said Jose's probably going to take a back seat.
This is determine who's a good coach to figure out those type of problems. I mean, it's a good problem to have, but this is where your expertise as a coach and someone who's going to think that you're going to take, us to a championship, this is where you earn your paycheck. And he has to make the right moves. And you're right, he's still figuring it out. He has not figured it out yet.
No, and really, he just goes with with what's going hot. I mean, you can see that from the beginning of the season all the way through. In the beginning of the season, he got those 2 big wins against Boston and against Cleveland, which were much needed. Then we went into a kind of a slump. Then we got on a run, won the NBA Cup. Then we went into a slump, and then it was kind of like a roller coaster, Jekyll and Hyde Knicks, where they get up for the big games and they shit on the other ones. And part of my language, and then it just goes into this stretch of games where you still don't know if it's, with these Jekyll and Hyde Knicks of, which Knick team you're going to get. You don't know which Mikal Bridges you're going to get. You don't know which Josh Hart you're going to get. Jalen Brunson has to work 2, even 3 times as hard, because that what the opposition is going to do. They're going to put a 6'8" guy who can try to keep up with them. They're going to try to trap him. So you got to get the ball out of his hands sooner rather than later. But the key to the whole thing is Karl Anthony Towns. And right now, as of the last 2 months, the big bodega, Big Cat, he's been answering that call. He's been playing like an all-star. He's a walking double-double.
He's been playing sorry to cut you off. He's been playing ever since Shaq got to his head, and Shaq had a conversation with him. He said, listen, man, this is about you. This is about you.
Right.
And Bodega tried to fight back, said, no, it's a team. And he said, no, big fella, it's about you. Ever since that conversation, Cat has been on top. I have nothing bad to say about Cat. Before that, I was like, man, get rid of this guy. I don't know what he's doing. He's soft. All this, but no, Cat has been here. So Cat is no longer the problem. The only problem they have right now is, what are we doing with Mikal? Why does he have all these minutes if he's not doing anything?
Yeah, what do you think about Mikal? Do you think Mikal is damaging our team?
No, he's not. I think that people put too much emphasis on the amount of draft picks that we traded for him. And on Knicks and Ish, we colloquially say F them picks, because it's not like we gave them all. We gave 5 or 6, first round picks and a couple of second rounders, and 3 of them are on Brooklyn right now, sitting on the bench. So what value was it? I think that, when you got talking heads continuously, criticizing Mikal, it's because for the obvious reason. They want Giannis here in New York. And until that happens, no one's ever going to be happy. But then when it does happen, what is going to be your argument then? Because it's going to happen. You already know that it's going to happen. If this season is a bust, no matter where we end up, unless we end up in the NBA Finals, the trade is going to happen. It's going to be, we're not going to like it. We're not going to, but to answer your question about Mikal Bridges is not, he's a career 14-point scorer. The only time he ever averaged more than 14 is one season in Phoenix and the 2 seasons he spent in Brooklyn. Because why? Because he had to. That was what he was asked to do. In New York, he's not even the third option. You got Jalen Brunson, you got Karl Anthony Towns, and then you got OG Anunoby. And then you have the bench. Mikal Bridges, he kind of scores in bits and pieces, and he's capable of scoring 20, but he's not asked to score 20. He's asked to be the point of attack defender, chasing down smaller guys, and he's got to do it for 36 minutes a night, and he's got to do that consistently. And there's not many guys in this league that can do it just like him. He can hit a corner 3 every now and then. I mean, he could do it a little bit more efficiently and consistently, but he's still good for those. And I don't understand what are you expecting? Are you expecting him to score 20 a night when you already got Jalen Brunson shooting, 19 shots a night? You got Karl Anthony Towns shooting 20 shots a night. You got OG Anunoby shooting 15. You're going to have Deuce McBride come back, and he shoots at least 11. Josh Hart takes about 5 or 6, if that. And then, so where are these shots going to start coming up? I mean, if you do the math, the Knicks are still shooting 95 to 105 shots a night. Where are these shots supposed to materialize? Someone please answer me. I'll wait.
That's all well and good. Where are they supposed to materialize? That's a good question. All right, so put it like this. You said Brunson's over there. He's still getting his numbers on. Cat's still getting his numbers and his shot. Hart is still getting. Hart does everything. Hart does rebounds, assists. He does everything, and he's still getting his numbers and shot. But Mikal's a starter. We go right to the bench. Clarkson comes off the bench. He gets his numbers. Boom, easily. No questions asked. Shamet gets off the bench and gets his numbers. He gets his shots and gets his numbers. Bridges starts, has too many minutes, even on this streak of the 7-game winning streak, playing against all these bad teams, Bridges will come in the game. He'll start the game. He'll have I think the most out of all these. He probably had 14 maybe last night, if I'm not mistaken. He did okay last night.
He's had 14 past 2 games, and then other than that, he's been 6, 7 points, 5 points, 4 points,
7, 2 for 8. 7, 4 points, 3 for 11. I'm like, what the hell is this? You're starting in the game. You're playing all these minutes. Brown's paying you 30 minutes, and you're doing this? Come on, man. What are we doing?
Because you got to admit, he has to improve his play, especially going into the playoffs. Like, if he continues to play the way he's playing, I don't think we can just acknowledge him. Well, you know what? He's just there. He's our 4th guy. You know what? That's fine. He has to improve. I believe he's capable of more. I mean, what is he not capable of more? Is that what we're saying?
No, he's definitely capable of doing that. And when Mike Brown was announced as the new head coach of the New York Knicks, one of the few things I said, the person that's going to benefit the most from this would be Mikal Bridges, because he will now be moving off the ball. He can actually, he can work that mid-range game, which you saw a lot of that in the early onset of the season when he was averaging about 18 a night. Right. But that's not, and this is where I kind of lean on Josh Hart, the heart of the city, the Swiss Army knife, and all the things he does when he says that's not what he's being asked. So if that's what's being discussed in the huddle, obviously we're not privy to that information. We're not privy to what's being discussed at practice or in tape sessions or stuff like that. What is being asked of Mikal Bridges? You can see it. You're going to defend that guy. I need you to keep him in front of you to the best of your ability for 36 minutes a night, and you got to foul him every now and then. Just be a pest. And you can't say that Mikal Bridges isn't doing his job. I mean, no one really plays defense like the shutdown defense. Where you're limiting a guy to 2 for 9 shooting at 10 points when he averages 40. That's not happening anymore. Right. And the league doesn't permit that anyway, even if you wanted to do that. But at the same time, look at what is the end result? Are we really going to be worried about ourselves about what Mikal Bridges does, or are we looking at the bottom line? Wins. And for me personally, I'm looking at the bottom line. Are we winning? Yes. The Knicks right now are on pace to be better than the team they were last year. They won 50 wins 2 seasons ago. They won 51 last year. They're on pace to hit 53, maybe 54 again.
Yeah.
We haven't done that in 12, 13, 14 years. So, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he's not going to perform in the playoffs. You know what he's going to do in the playoffs. You know what he did in last year's playoffs. We don't win that Boston series without him.
Agree.
So let's not
wait for the playoffs for this guy to show up.
At this point, I mean, what would be the alternative? Be like James Harden, wait for the players for him to disappear?
James Harden is that's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
that Cleveland Cavaliers team, they started off well with him, and then they went down, and then they're going to get to the playoffs, and they're going to realize why everybody gets up on James Harden in the playoffs.
And the same thing, you're going to say this. You can say the same thing about Donovan Mitchell, which is why when the Cavs made that trade, my question was why. You traded Darius Garland, who's one of your better defenders in the backcourt, and I understand that you need more scoring to complement Donovan Mitchell. That makes sense. However, you traded for not 34, 33-year-old James Harden. You went for 38, 39-year-old James Harden, who you already know has a history of disappearing in the big game. So what's going to happen when you go into the postseason and you're entering that 4-5 matchup against the Orlando Magic? I'm pretty sure they'll get past them. But yeah. God forbid, if you're a Cleveland fan and it's pivotal game 5, you need a bucket and he's just not there. And Donovan doesn't, is being either well guarded or doesn't have it. What are you going to do? Yeah. Bye, Cleveland.
Listen, I will take that up. I'll take that offer up. I'm gonna give Mikal Bridges playoffs to show up. Let's see what happens. And obviously, you'll be one of our new Knicks insiders coming on, talking about the Knicks throughout the playoffs. So we're happy to have you on the show. So let's see if the infamous Knickerbocker calls it right with Mikal Bridges showing up. So
it's about 2-3 weeks away. So we'll see. We'll see pretty soon. First round, we should run past the first round. I'm not too worried about that. It's the second round because if we're stuck in that 3rd seed, it's going to be a rematch of Boston, and we already know this. So second round against Boston again, and Boston's out for blood.
They are, but if memory serves me correctly, and since it was only this morning when I checked the standings, we are in a virtual tie with the Boston Celtics. We own the current tiebreaker, and they have a big game going on as in progress right now. Shout out to the Yanks right now; they're up 5-0.
Let's go.
Nice.
So I mean, if things continue to go as planned, I don't foresee the Knicks being in the 3rd seed much longer. They'll be the 2 seed, and they'll probably finish the 2 seed, considering how they go into OKC. And into Memphis and to close out the season, because Boston's schedule is not that, and they have to play us too. So yeah, I think that Boston made a big mistake by not capitalizing on the fact that Jason Tatum came back. He is playing pretty efficiently. He's not we can see he's not 100%, but I always said to this to a few people that I know, it's like Tatum may have made a mistake coming back too soon. Because it's not like
that was a big debate here on the show a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we had that same talk.
Back, or should Tatum sit out for the rest of the season? You're ready. You guys are already high up here, 2nd place. Nobody expected you to do anything. You lost Holiday, you lost Porzingis, you lost Horford, you lost Tatum. Nobody expected you to do anything this year, and you're already high up. Why come back so soon? Wait out for the rest of the year. If they go far in the playoffs and they win it all, so be it. If they don't, so be it. You're not here. But he's here, and let's see.
Because I don't think that Boston, when they made all those trades after they were eliminated last season, you can tell that they were already looking at 2 or 3 years ahead of time. They weren't looking at this season as saying, we're going to compete for the title. That's the whole reason why you trade Porzingis, and when you made all those trades and you cleared up salary, and because you knew what you were going to do in a year or two. This is a team that overachieved. So that you have to tip your hat to them. But at the same time, unless you knew for a fact that Jason Tatum was going to be the X factor to take you over the top and have you compete for an NBA title, which I don't think they are, because I don't think first of all, they're not better than Detroit. They're not better than us. They may be better. I think it's better than Cleveland. So why are you coming back to be the 3rd best team in the East? Come on, why?
I don't know what he has to
Good
prove. He
point,
should have
good
stayed
point.
out personally, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
man,
Playoffs around the
it's
corner,
gonna be a
man.
bunch of crazy last few games of the season. Let's see how we finish out. I think we can definitely be optimistic. I agree with you. I think we should be able to secure that second seed. I don't have any reason why we shouldn't. I think we should be able to secure that second seed. Hopefully, it's a good thing. Because we were just talking about those teams that can come out of the play-in. Any one of those teams can be a problem for the Knicks. But at the same time, I still believe the Knicks are going to cruise past the first round.
I think Charlotte could give them some problems. I'll be honest with you. The rest
Charlotte
of
can.
Philly.
Miami. I'm not worried about Philadelphia. I'm not worried. I don't think they have enough, and they won't stay healthy.
Orlando,
Miami, not so much. Orlando, I think they'll give us a fun series. I think fun is about as much as like a gentleman's sweep. But aside from that, the only and I've been saying this, and for a couple of weeks now, I'm going to say it on your show, and I hope this take doesn't offend anybody, whoever's watching. But I'm going to say the craziest thing that anyone's ever said. At this point, knowing what we know about the Knicks and who they played against, I want the Pistons in the playoffs, and I don't care what round it is. I want to send them packing. Plain and simple. I want the fucking Pistons. I'm sorry. I want the Pistons, and I want to send them home again. They beat us 3 out of 4 times last year. They beat us 3 times this year. The Celtics beat us 4 times last year. The Cavs beat us.
With Cade Cunningham?
Well, Cade got to be there. It got to be a legit matchup. I don't want to play them without.
Yeah.
I'll play with Cade Cunningham, sure.
I'll play him with them, without him, with the collapsed lung. I'll give him one of mine. I don't care what you want to do, dude. At this point,
I love it.
I like the idea of beating someone at their best, because I don't want to hear that excuse afterwards. If I lose, I always tip my hat to the victor. Whether we're injured, whether we're missing guys, it's like, no, you tip your hat to the victor. That's that's the gentleman thing to do in competition.
Let me ask you a question, because we are a very long. I hate to use the word suffering, but it's kind of like that. We've been suffering for a very long time. We haven't won any championship, like you just said. You started off the show just like talking about all the years.
Right there.
Look at that.
That was the last one.
Yep. I got my older brother's a Knicks fan. He got me into it. I was very young, so I did get to see, the Ewings and Starks and Oakleys, and then obviously transitioning into the Sprees and all that stuff like that. And then going into the whole shit show, Isaiah era, Melo era, going into all that stuff, right? We've been through ups and downs, right? Marbury era, all that. Yeah. Will you say, because I'm going to tell you, I'm one of those, because it's just been so damn long. Would you rather sneak your way into the playoffs, into the finals, by hoping you don't see these guys, hoping you don't see that guy, and just get there and hopefully see you get an injured Spurs team or an injured OKC, something like that, and win like that? Or you want to actually go pound for pound and actually, play the best of the best? Because as you know, it's not been working out for us for a very long time. So where do you stand with this?
I play the 50-50 on that one, because there are moments where I want to beat them at their best. Like I always wanted to beat Michael Jordan during the Ewing years. Yeah. You always wanted to beat LeBron or Kobe, or you want that moment.
It doesn't happen, yeah, and
it doesn't happen. But at the same time, it's been 53 years since the Knicks can call themselves NBA champions, and so at the end of the day, do you remember the last time the Knicks were in the NBA Finals? 1999. There was no Patrick Ewing.
Right.
There was no Patrick Ewing. Right. So, do we say that? No. We say we lost. Right. We remember it for being the first number 8 seed to make the NBA Finals. So, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a positive and negative to whoever wins. You can always, go back to any NBA championship legacy and say, well, there was this and there was that and there was this politics. I just want to win one.
Yeah,
At this
same.
point, I just want to win one. I want to experience this. That's the one title that's eluded me in my sports fandom. I've seen 4 Super Bowls. I've seen 5 World Series. I've seen even the Lord Stanley's Cup in my face. I haven't seen the Larry O'Brien. I saw
Right.
it from a distance, but the Spurs were holding it. So
Right.
that's
Yeah.
kind of where I'm at.
Unfortunate because that year, had we just had even a half-assed Ewing against Robinson and put Camby on Duncan, both young guys, even if you want to play with Johnson and Thomas on Duncan, our guard Spree in Houston, we had better guards than they did. They just had better bigs than we did, and so they just demolished us. We didn't have enough power, and Ewing obviously missing out. That it was unfortunate.
It hurt us.
But that's the thing. I'm sure you remember '94, up 3-2, and can you imagine that? Just you were talking about '99, but '94 we were 1 game away from winning a championship.
Man, you're sending me back about 10 years in my therapy. You know, I just cried my last tear. I don't hate John Starks anymore or Pat Riley anymore, and you have to bring that up, and it's like,
bringing it up because I'm trying to tell you, like,
right.
Bro, I don't want to play you're flexing about playing I do not. I want to hide and sneak my way in and just call and hold a damn trophy and say, look, we did it. Look, to go matchup to matchup, it's like you're gonna set yourself up for heartbreak like we have. I mean, your therapy sessions are just as long as mine probably. So and same as Jay. So I don't know. I guess we'll find out. It's amazing having you on the show. Obviously, we'll be tapping you in daily on the Jay and IMMI show, our Knicks Insider, the infamous Knickerbocker. Before we let you go, who is the GOAT, Jordan or MJ?
Jordan or LeBron, you mean?
LeBron.
Wow. You know, I was going to change my answer when his airness said what he said on NBC that day, but you cannot look at LeBron and say that that's the greatest of all time because of the reasons that you look at what Michael Jordan not only revolutionized this game,
right,
but he did it in such a way where he monopolized this game.
That's right.
That's where I think that that conversation starts and ends. When you look at LeBron is great. He is clearly to me the number 2, but he's a far away from number 1.
Sure.
Just because of what Mike has done for the game, what Mike has done, to this game of basketball, and if you really look at this, he's the measuring stick of where everything is measured. Every greatness is measured by him.
Right.
It's not measured by Wilt. It's not measured by Magic and Bird. It's not measured by Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul. It's not measured by these other people. It's not measured by George the Iceman Gervin or Oscar Robertson or Walt Frazier or Jerry West, the logo.
Yeah.
You measure it by Michael Jordan. How does this guy measure against him? Against this mythical creature of air lightness and gravity defying greatness and toughness and winning.
Listen,
that's simple.
That was very well said.
That's a big salute.
That was very well said, but I want you to save it for April 13th when we have our great debate.
Oh, I just saw that promo that you guys had for that, and I'm putting down. I'm getting my notes ready. I really want to get down for that one.
Ready?
Because we got LeBron people here that are going to go against you. So
yeah, we even add to that. We're gonna have some giveaways too for the best points, best this and that. Like we're gonna have some giveaways for it. So definitely, we'd love to have you on the platform and let the world know why MJ is the GOAT. And LeBron,
I don't necessarily agree with that, but we could talk about that on April 13th.
Look, and that's a crazy thing is because I've had the fortunate ability to have met both of them. I've met Michael Jordan twice. It was both because of a previous job that I used to have. I used to work for the Upper Deck Company, and LeBron became a spokesman, right out of 19, and Michael was always there. And I've had the pleasure of meeting both of them. LeBron, as a person, is probably one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. The coolest by far is Kevin Garnett. I just want to put that out there. Kevin Garnett's definitely the coolest. But LeBron, in his greatness and everything that he's accomplished, he will be remembered, and he will be eventually among the pantheon or the Mount Rushmore of the NBA. I think he's definitely deserving of that. But when you look at, again, the monopoly that was the Jordan era, there's just no comparison. When you don't eat because of one guy, that ends the conversation.
Listen, I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna save it for the 13th. I could defend that.
Those are amazing points. I wanted to ask you a question since you brought up the upper deck situation. Is it true that MJ had himself removed from the Starks dunk from his cards? Is there somewhat truth to that?
There is a lot of truth. It wasn't something that
It's something that
other times because
infamous Knickerbocker
he's a great one.
has vanished.
He'll be back for the 13th. It's fine.
He has vanished. Reason being is because he is like MJ, mystical. And Michael Jordan is the greatest.
Hey, listen. Today,
April 13th is WrestleMania here on the Jay and Emmy show.
Sure.
WrestleMania. The main event is Jordan, LeBron.
Table shot.
All right.
As we all know, today was a short show, so we're not going to drag it out today. Just had a quick check-in, opening day. Talk about the Knicks as per usual, and that's about it. Emmy, any last words?
Of course, absolutely. Bro.
Oh,
are you seeing me?
I see you. Go ahead. Say your last words.
All right, guys. Once again, April 13th, the great debate. Knicks. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we do. Look, I'm gonna take the Knickerbocker Avenue. That's what his name is. His handle is. I'm gonna take him up on that Mikal Bridges. It's only 9 games, so there are 8 games left in the season. So he said, "Listen, give him to the playoffs. He's gonna come through." And he's very optimistic. And remember, if you guys remember, I brought up at the beginning of the show that you have the optimistic Knick fans and you have the fans, and I know them. And listen, as Knick fans, we can't fight, we can't argue because we agree. We want it to be like that. Listen, like we're Knick fans, we want it to be just like that. So I guess I'll take him up on that. Let's see if Mikal Bridges comes through in the playoffs, and if he does, then a lot of our problems will be solved, and the New York Knicks will be probably definitely a championship contender. So I'm gonna leave it off of that. Let the week unravel, and we will be back on Monday night, guys. We'll probably have some lives and some other stuff on our things, but we'll be back Monday night for a show. We'll have some guest speakers on, some guests, and we'll have our challenge, our quick hits, and we'll be having our insiders on basketball, baseball, and as the draft is coming up, NFL as well. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Jay, take it away.
Prepare for the great debate. Let's go. That's all I got.
Great debate. That's all.